Hello friends, this is Dipali Shrimal here, welcoming you to my YouTube channel Under the Sun. This is a socio-political discussion forum wherein I'll talk about a social or a political issue in every new episode. So let's begin. Welcome. In this episode, I'll talk about not only Pakistan Army's intervention but involvement in Pakistan's entertainment media through production of movies and dramas by the Army Wing, as bizarre as it sounds, based on political subject and giving those subjects their own spin. When the discussion is about Pakistan, eyes go rolling for what have they done now? Well, our neighbors have gotten themselves quite busy these days playing with history, whimsically, which is their style. It is a known fact that Pakistan is not a state with an army, but an army with a state. The army also takes the role of owning up the state so seriously that it involves itself in not only martial activities but also administrative, industrial, and agricultural. Army refuse its participation in war and activities against neighboring nations and puts the blame on civilians turned jihadis when caught in line of fire, while they themselves stay busy cultivating crops. Yes, you heard that right. For the uninitiated, Pakistan Army cultivates and sells food items for profit like wheat and other grains and sells peeled peas in the market, etc. I guess it would be safe to call them an army corporation. If using civilians as jihadis to propagate their agenda, instead of keeping the martial activities to themselves, which is their primary job, acting as farmers, businessmen, cabinet ministers was not enough, then Pakistan Army, through its media relation wings called as ISPR, is now openly producing entertainment content. What kind of content? The answer is sleazy, propagandist, false, misleading, and now fueling feud with and between neighbors. Pakistan Army has been funding movies and dramas since a while with some known projects like a movie War and a show Ehde Wafa. Their main aim is to set up propaganda against India, showing that India is responsible for terrorism and all other problems in Pakistan. Now, every country will have its own version in a conflict with another country. In other cases, it may not be a big deal, but in case of Pakistan, it is baffling. What is the country thinking, or rather not thinking? Pakistan already suffers from the repercussion of hatred, racism, and terrorism. Blaming East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, and India while showing West Pakistan and Pakistan Army as do-gooders, what will Pakistan gain from it? They are already doused in negativity. Kya unka dil ab bhi mange more? So what is the content that we are talking about? Here are a few examples. First, beginning with sleaze. Yes, how much ever it is unbelievable and weird, inconvenient, but needs to be addressed. And then history as presented by Pakistan. 2 years ago, Pakistan came up with a caricaturish movie Kaaf Kangna based on regional tension. The movie was a super flop and does not even deserve a mention. The promo itself will tell you the worth or rather lack of it. The point to note is an item song featured in the movie where the dancer is playing an Indian girl and lyrics are boasting of Pakistani men chest thumping over humping the woman. When called out for the sleaze and sick mindset of objectifying the woman, ISPR's Twitter reaction was that audience of Pakistan will find it all justifiable when they know that the girl objectified is playing an Indian girl. This example is good enough to showcase the talent, or rather lack of it, the standards and intent of a failed army corporation and a failed state. So what is this history that suddenly Pakistan has gotten so excited about? On December 2021, Bangladesh celebrated 50 years of its independence from Pakistan. Since it was golden anniversary to relief and newfound life by millions of Bangladeshis who were massacred and discriminated by Pakistan for their culture, language and origin, it was also time for Pakistan to reflect. Pakistan's policy has been to not mention Bangladesh, forget about it as if it has never happened. If so, then why talk about it now? And if you do, then one would expect Pakistan to take this moment to retrospect all that was wrong with Pakistan and perhaps make a fresh beginning by acknowledging political and social failures that led to the two regions falling apart. Such strategic, progressive, or productive analysis is too much to ask from a country whose expertise lies in creating their own history, geography, and current times. Pakistan has gone on production spree of creating films, telefilms, mini-series and dramas based on the historical subject of Pakistan-Bangladesh partition. After 2 years of pandemic slowdown, their cinemas opened up to a movie Khel Khel Mein, based on Bangladesh subject telling Bangladeshis that every problem that exists in Pakistan or Bangladesh is because of India. Then came a slew of such content like Jo Bichhad Gaye, Khwab Jo Toot Gaye, Hangor, and perhaps many more. In some subjects, apart from showing India's unreasonable intervention and provocation, they have even gone to the extent of showing how Pakistan army was being kind and Bangladeshis malicious and aggressive, who were hell-bent on the division. To make an entertainment content on historical events is human. But through such content continue to peddle lies, self-serving versions, disillusions and create tensions is Pakistan. For the unversed, opposite to normal is Pakistan. East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, is a dark chapter in the history of Pakistan. Even if regular filmmakers deal with the subject, one would expect discretion. It was a political, social and martial failure which needs to be addressed if they wish to cover this subject. So where does an army fit into all this, who obviously would want to save its face? Pakistan can never talk about Bangladesh issue without properly covering up Bengali language movement in 1952, the East Bengali legislative election 1954, the 1958 Pakistani coup d'etat, the 6-point movement of 1966, and on top of all this, the 1970 Pakistani general election that resulted in the rise of Bengali nationalism and pro-democracy movements in East Pakistan. The final meltdown happened when Pakistani military junta refused to transfer power to the Awami League led by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, despite the party clearly getting the mandate in Pakistan's first democratic election. The injustice and betrayal by West Pakistan towards East Pakistan led to the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971. India sided with East Pakistan and helped them achieve the liberation that East Pakistan was seeking. Rest is history. India also had her skin into it after all. India had to stop thousands of refugees infiltrating India owing to tension and killings in Pakistan. India had to look after its security and peace. No such mentions are shown in the content that they are dishing out one after the other. Even if Pakistan wants to blame India for intervention, giving East Pakistan independence from West Pakistan and thus creating a separate country which is now known as Bangladesh, how can Pakistan wash its hands off the causes that led to conflict? Pakistan's entertaining and educative content conveniently condones genocide of millions of Bangladeshis, disruption in the region caused by their conflict, and extensive refugee problem faced by India owing to such disturbance. Pakistan's entertainment content dished out by ISPR also conveniently skips the part of tendering profuse and heartfelt apology to Bangladesh, who still hasn't gotten one. So, $1 million question, listeners, is that did Pakistan learn its lesson from her history with Bangladesh, her present with India, her foreseeable future with the world? The answer, as someone has famously quoted, is absolutely not. It still is on the same rhetoric of Pakistan being pristine pure, a victim of circumstances, while wrong lies with others. There is nothing new in such behavior coming from Pakistan, but noteworthy is its invigorated attempt in stoking Bangladesh against India and Pakistan against Bangladesh. This dark space is being made even more darker. Repeatedly telling a lie does not make the lie a truth. Pakistan has conveniently forgotten its history, but Bangladesh certainly won't. I don't think Pakistan's new entertainment adventure will have any impact on India or Bangladesh. However, the sad part is the country is taken on a ride yet again by its army. What is hopeless, shameless, and sad amidst all this is that the media and Janta all continue to go on this merry ride without any objection. Pakistan army has become good to gooder, everybody around them has become bad to badder, and victim Pakistan has become wounded to severely wounded. Unfortunately, no light of hope and positivity seems to be coming from that dark tunnel. I would conclude by asking our government to look out in this sphere as things are getting funnier, and my take would be to continue to maintain distance from entertainment and artists from Pakistan, as army in entertainment business is then beyond just art. That would be all for this episode, dear listeners. I'll see you in another episode of Under the Sun. Please don't forget to add your comments with your viewpoints and feedback. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care and bye bye.